All right. Welcome back in, everybody, to the post All-Star break, second half of the MLC season episode of Daily Bread, coming at you live right at 11:05 on the East Coast. So we appreciate everybody tapping in. Only 6 games on the slate today. We got first pitch right at 1. So you got a little bit of time if you're tuning in after the episode while we're live to lock in today's winners. The show is powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Be sure to be tapping in with them as soon as you can. We're live on Twitter. We appreciate everybody there. We still can't feature your comments, but hop over to the YouTube channel if you want to be featured in the chat. Drop your best bets. Let Sosa and I know whatever the hell you want to do. It's Daily Bread. The show is for all of you. But we got a 6-game slate. We made it through the 3 dog days. We got the light at the end of the tunnel because we got the main domestic league starting up in the first week of August, so just a little under 2 weeks away. Then we got the NCAA college football season starting. So, JD, we had an episode drop today. The Big Ten West win totals, previews, giving you the winners, letting you know what team's going to go over and under that total. Weekly episodes from JD with extra dough. You already know to be locking in with him before Paid for Play comes back on Saturdays. But Sosa, how are you doing? I don't know who the fuck is trying to talk to me from work right now.
I'm feeling great, man. Got the vid. Got to do another antigen test today, but I think I should be out of the woods. A lot of people hit me up. Appreciate everybody that did too. That was really, really, really needed. Looking at how things are going. It's back for baseball. Short slate today, obviously. Make sure you guys check the lineups. Just obviously got the word from I just completely lost my train of thought because I'm getting text too. My bad. But yeah, All-Star break over. We're back for the second half. Obviously, I said check lineups because we just found out some people aren't playing. Corey Seager still hung over from the All-Star break, so we got to have him miss a game before he gets right. But other than that, yeah, I'm excited for the second half of baseball. Really putting a lot of time into getting ready for football season. You guys should really look forward to that. You mentioned JD and extra dough. He's the best in the business. I'm just glad he works for us, works with us, and as a part of Daily Bread Media. I mean, the sharpest college football mind I know. I stand by that too, because a lot of people who think they're sharp with college football, they're not fucking with JD. So if you're not familiar, by the end of the season, you will be.
Got plenty of film out there. I think today was episode 10 for him. So you got 10 episodes to judge it. You went from Heisman here. He gave you the week 1 betting odds, game of the year betting odds of what to be locking in. He's got some CLV in that. So let's see if he can get more with the Big Ten West preview. And we were shitting on lists, but he dropped the list of the top 10 college football quarterbacks last week as well. So if you want to argue with him, he's on vacation. So he will love it if you argued with him right now.
You see, obviously we as Sixer fans, we were watching. We saw the proposal for the new stadium downtown Center City. I thought it looked cool. Like they sucked me in with the aesthetics. Like it looked really, really fly. And then I thought about like, damn, traffic's gonna be a motherfucker. So my dreams were swiftly shot down by the ad day of that. And I think it'll be shut down. It's not. I don't think it's really feasible for that to happen. I know you think a little differently, but
they got 10 years. It's still, even if it does get passed, it'll be 10 years.
Either way, I don't see the downtown looking much different in 10 years. Do you?
No, that's the arts district, man.
Okay. Keep dreaming, Peter Pan. Keep dreaming.
I was about to say at the end of the show, so if you have any MLB futures you want to give out, because I know you jumped on a space and you're previewing the second half, so we might have some MVP, some division odds, even go into who's going to NL, AL. So we'll wrap that up at the end. But let's just get into the 6 games, and then it gets beautiful after today. So Sosa, any action in either the 1 o'clock starts?
Yeah, I'm on the Houston Astros first 5 money line.
I knew that's why you tweeted the Altuve gift today.
It's at -130, right? You tweeted that. It's at -130 right now. The juice is kind of high. I would actually take them on the run line. I just think that everything favors Houston today. I think we see the New York Yankees put an onus on trying to get healthy and having and just getting right for the playoffs when you have such a huge lead, and you have a bullpen that's been expended to the point that theirs has. Montgomery is probably the worst of all their starting pitchers. Someone said Yordan Alvarez is back. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets his total bases. Obviously not going to bet him because he's been out of the lineup for about 2 weeks. Might have been a little longer than that. But I personally, I love the Houston Astros in this spot. First 5, minus half a run at +108. I don't think you can beat it. I think they get out early. As long as Altuve's in lineup, which he is. Yeah,
see, I told you tweeted it.
I'm rocking with Houston 100% today.
In this spot here, Javier, earlier when he faced the Yankees in the season, it was at Yankee, and June 25th, he went 7 innings. He didn't give up a hit, gave up 1 walk, had 13 Ks when he faced Cole. So maybe he'll even have better home cooking today here. Hard to argue against that. But you kind of have the public, not in this game, in the second game, they're jumping all over the Yankees, but you'll have the public saying, oh, but we can get the Yankees at the plus money price. Doesn't really matter, but both of these pitchers are coming off a rough last 3, even though Javier is still getting 10 plus Ks in 2 of the past 3 starts. Just got dinged up for multiple runs in 2 starts.
Yes, sir.
So we got a 6.5 hanging out there in the other day game because we got Gray and your boy Pablo Lopez on the mound here. You can get the fish earlier there at -107. Looked like the Seager news moved it to -118, sitting on my book. Might be -120 on yours. 2 cents different. Really doesn't matter that much.
Seager's been on a tear.
I know. So that's why I was on the fish at -107. That's where I personally locked it in at. But, I play what's on the show. So I'll be playing it at -118. Full game money line with Pablo at home. Too hard to argue against, especially when you take the top bat out of the lineup.
Yes, sir. I'm actually on the same play as well. I only have one other baseball play today. What do you think it is?
The one that we're probably going to have a head-to-head against in. No, I'm just kidding. I like the over 8 in the Dodgers game. That was my second play of the day.
I'm on the Dodgers run line at +138. Only one team has been better on the run line all year, and that's the Baltimore Orioles, which is why I tell y'all every day, if you're not betting the Dodgers run line, then you don't like profits. It stands true. Like I said, it stands true every season for the last 4. Remember last year, the only team that was better at this point was Detroit, and that was because it's the same situation as the Orioles this year. They were the underdog in so many games and covered the run line in so many games that
you just have to throw in the Excel function and say you're the best run line team as favorites, not as dogs, and then it's simpler for you.
Just period. We're the best team in baseball. The run line's at +138. We don't even know who started tonight yet. I don't really think it fucking matters. I'm not worried about Rodon. Last 2 left-handed pitchers we saw, we won 7-1, 9-1. And the second time around, we put 4 lefties in the lineup and still beat the shit out of a left-handed pitcher.
Hey, Rodon was clean his last time out. 0 earned runs.
Good for him.
But I'm on the over 8 -105 here. I think it's going to be your favorite guy in the rotation going tonight, White. So that's where I think we'll see some runs in the lineup here. Even though when they do face lefties, if you have to use that filter that I told you about Sosa, more recently they've been hitting lefties stronger. But if you look at their batting average, their OPS, their slugging, and their OBP, it's a little bit lower than their season average, but it's tough to hit that season average when they're 19-11 straight up against lefties.
Yeah, like I said, I expect good things tonight from the Dodgers, and I expect a team that's been there every year for the last 10 to be right there, to be ready for a second half push, just like we have every year for the last 10.
So I got 2 plays. Sosa, you had 2 plays. We got to fill out the requirement. Let's talk about the other doubleheader that we got here, because if the Astros do drop game 1, I'll be on the Astros money line game 2 just because of that trend, whatever you want to call it, where the home team drops the first one and the doubleheader. Always be backing that. And plus, if you can get them at minus 116, that's a pretty solid price. But let's talk about the Tigers. Even though you'll be fading Cole, I like that. Let's talk Tigers, A's. You got Skubal and Luge on the mound. Anything?
No. I mean, Skubal.
You have a lot of low totals sitting out there, man. And with this heat and humidity, I think the ball is going to be flying. And you don't really see a bunch of ones out there today, too. So that's where it's just strange with all these low totals.
Yeah, I prefer the over in that. Skubal's been
I like that if you parlay it, even though it's the sin of a word to say here. I do like that parlay right there.
That's not bad. I'm not complaining. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, Luge has been a candidate, even though he's not started consistently enough because he's only had 1 start before June here at this point where he was clean, but he was someone who's getting into the first half team total fade here. But the Tigers, I'm not dying to back them out here. And then in the second game, if you're not going to say what Ozzy's rocking with, I mean, you got Montas. This is kind of his last push to make sure he gets traded before the deadline. So you could try to back him in some sort of way here because over his last 3 starts, he has a 1.80 ERA in 15 innings, 16 strikeouts, only he's given up 3 runs. Pretty solid there.
Yes, sir.
Yep, the last Montas push. Do you think he'll get traded or do you think he stays?
I think Montas moved. Montas has moved. The team that we got to look at for players that might be on the move is the Orioles. Mancini might be on the move.
You think they're going to sell after all this?
It's tough, man. They're hot.
That would be tough for their fans and everything.
I've been yelling free Cedric Mullins the last 2 years, man. We got to we got to see the next 2 weeks to really see how they perform there. I could really see them being sellers at the deadline, and they could be buyers, but they wouldn't spend a lot of money. Angelo's family obviously just has the organization completely fucked up at the moment, and then they just drafted number 1 overall in the draft. So for me, it's a bit of a stretch, a bit of a conversation to be had. It's too soon. You got to give them the next 2 weeks. If they come out hot here the next 2 weeks, I think Baltimore makes a push. Obviously, the entire division is relatively good. Fuck Toronto, though. I hate them. But other than that,
let's talk futures. So Sosa, National League MVP. You had Goldschmidt at minus 145. And then you have everyone at plus 500 or better. You like any action there? You can't take the field here, unfortunately, but
I think Freeman's worth a sprinkle. I think Freeman
plus 1,000 on my book that I'm looking at.
Worth the sprinkle. I can't really think of anybody else really making a push. I mean, Goldschmidt's been really fucking good.
Schwarber? Plus 2,000. No,
do you believe in regression to the mean?
Yes. No, that's where I've been joking. Mookie's plus 1,000, Pete's plus 500, and Machado's plus 500. So I don't think it'd be Machado or Pete either.
Maybe Freddie, maybe Schwarber. I'm not gonna lie. What Schwarber's done in the first half, absolutely electric. I mean, like he single-handedly kept y'all in the race. Let's be honest.
But yeah, there's some nice starts there if you want to throw one for there. No official plays here. NL, you got 2 people at minus odds because you have Shohei or Judge. So I really don't know who could beat them out. I know we're talking about Jordan.
We got Judge at
probably won't.
Well, we got Judge at plus 400 to start the year or earlier in the season. That's where I got him at. I was lucky. Kamish was the one who actually brought it to me. So we ended up rocking with Judge to get MVP. I mean, if you're looking to hedge, obviously the value isn't really there per se for Shohei.
Shohei's minus 140.
But obviously the Major League Baseball has shown that they reward players for losing teams. There's a reason why Mike Trout has all those MVPs. So it wouldn't be surprising if they gave it to Shohei. Aaron Judge has cooled down a bit. Obviously, we saw him hit some home runs right before the break, which kind of took our eyes off the fact that he hadn't played great baseball for about 2 or 3 weeks. I can't. There's no value there. If we're talking futures, the only 2 futures that I really, really love is I had to take a ticket on the Guardians plus 450 because they have the best manager in their division. I know a lot of people are nut riding
the Central.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are nut riding Rocco Baldelli. To me, he's overrated as a player and he's overrated as a manager. I've never been a fan. Chicago is hands down the most talented team in the division. They have a terrible manager, and they always have injuries. Whether it's Jimenez hurt, whether it's Moncada hurt, whether it's Tim Anderson hurt, whether it's Abreu missing some games, they always get hurt. Hands down the most talented team in the Central, though. If I got both of those at plus money yesterday, Chicago was at plus 125, the Guardians at plus 450. And I did that, and then Kamish immediately tells me he thinks Minnesota's going to run away with the division. So to each his own. I personally believe in the other 2, and I think we're going to have a good race there in the second half. That's the only real them and your division are the only 2 where I actually see like any level of parity happening. All the other ones are pretty much locked up for the most part. The Brewers.
That's where I have 2 potential looks. That's where the Braves at plus 135. I mean, DeGrom just had his setback that we're all expecting. And then the Cardinals at plus 180 with only a half game back. I think that's the one that's calling my name the most out of all of the divisional futures. Just because you have the least amount of games. Sure, the Brewers line up solid, but, man, they've just been over. They have 5 more wins out on the road. They're 29-24 on the road, and they're only 21-20 at home. So maybe that's what the books are expecting. They'll pick up that home throttle. But if they don't and they stay there and they regress to the mean on the away spots, I think I could see the Cardinals jumping them. But that's really the one that caught my eye the most, them at plus 180.
That was the Cardinals?
Yep.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals too, but Milwaukee's it's a complete opposite side battle there because one team's got the great pitching, the other one's got a really good lineup. So that's where
half game back. That's where I'm putting it. The least amount of ground to cover up because the Braves are plus 135 and they're 2.5 back.
Exactly.
That's where
you guys have a chance. I still think y'all have a chance of winning the division.
Plus 2,500, I believe that is.
I mean, I'm dead serious, bro. That DeGrom situation is bad. And is Peterson and Taijuan Walker going to continue to pitch at the level they have?
And Carrasco's 3 too, which is the biggest one as well.
That's what I'm saying. They've had so many guys overperform in expectation of DeGrom coming back. And if he is fucked up in any degree, they obviously shut him down now for another 15 days. So we're not going to even know anything for another 2 weeks. If his situation's fucked up, I told you, listen, everything hinges on him. I said this 2 months ago. If DeGrom and Scherzer are healthy, they run away with it. At one point, they get hot, they'll run away with it. If DeGrom's not healthy, the Mets could be in some serious shit. Because
so what usually happens at this point of the summer every year on end.
They've got a lot of guys that overperformed. They had a 12-game lead, and they've absolutely regressed. So it's going to be interesting to see. And it's also going to be interesting to see how much money Cohen's willing to spend at the deadline.
I don't think that will be an issue.
Radio's
been talking up big time that Soto's ending up as a Met.
Fuck no. He'd be in a Dodger uniform. Either him or Aaron Judge.
But until tomorrow's episode,
don't let that happen.
I know. I would hate that.
Y'all better not let that happen. Let Aaron Judge end up in a Dodger uniform.
Oh, I wasn't talking about that. I don't want to see Soto as a Met. But until tomorrow, we'll be coming back at you live with the full MLB slate. And then we got the weekend soccer slate coming up as well. So it's the best time to be here because, like we said, European domestic leagues start first week of August. Then we got college football, NFL. We're right at the end of the tunnel of MLB only episodes. Oh, I was trying to get that one too. But until tomorrow, give us that like, follow, subscribe. Retweet.
Check out Extra Dough with JD on our channel. Go to playlist if you guys want to get ahead of college football. I have made it a point of duty. I will not be discussing college football except for on Paid for Play. I'm leaving it to this guy and JD to get y'all in the best position to be successful during college football season. If you're not taking advantage of this, you're a fucking idiot.
We out.
Peace.